In today's video, we're going to explore the top 15 must-have items for RVing, no matter how you RV, what kind of RV you have, or if you're just getting started. After owning 3 very different kinds of RVs, I've learned there are slight differences in the items you need depending on if you have a motorhome, a fifth wheel, a travel trailer, a camper van, or a truck camper. Instead of focusing on the items for one specific type of RV, today I'm going to focus on what, in my opinion, are the essential items no matter how you choose to RV. I'm going to break this list into 3 main categories. Number 1, getting to your campsite. Number 2, setting up your campsite. And number 3, enjoying your stay. In case you want to check out any of the following items for your own adventures, I'll put links to everything we covered today in the video description below. For the getting to your campsite category, the first 2 items are a tire pressure gauge and an air compressor. At a minimum, you should have a tire pressure gauge to properly check your tire pressures before you head out. And if your budget allows, you may also want to consider adding a decent portable air compressor. We personally carry several different tire pressure and inflation tools, as well as a RVer 12-volt air compressor specifically designed for RV use. Always having these with us means we really never have to try to find a place to air up the tires, which of course is a lot harder to do with a large RV. Having properly inflated tires is critical for a safe trip to your destination. And as you travel between different areas, elevations, and climates, your tire pressures can very quickly change. Under or overinflated tires on your motorhome or your truck and trailer can quickly jeopardize your trip. This can cost money in terms of lower fuel economy, excessive tire wear, and lead to dangerous driving conditions. Also in the getting to your campsite category and coming in at number 3 on our must-have list is an RV-specific navigation system. As an RVer, traditional GPS apps on your phone like Google Maps are not really designed to safely provide navigation for an RV. This is especially true for large motorhomes, fifth wheels, and trailers. When I first started traveling, I tried a couple of different RV navigation apps on my phone, but quickly found their performance and reliability to be really underwhelming. I gave up on the phone app approach after one of the supposed RV navigation apps took us on a route and series of roads that were way too small for our RV. We literally had to drive for miles down the middle of one of the roads it sent us on, and after that experience, I quickly upgraded to a Garmin RV890. This is a standalone GPS device specifically designed for RV use. What makes it so special is the ability to enter information such as the dimensions and weight of your RV or truck and trailer combination, as well as specify if you have propane on board and how much you have of that. It also allows you to set up specific routing preferences, target driving speeds, and easily build multi-stop routes. The GPS takes all of this information plus bridge heights, road restrictions, propane restrictions, and low ground clearance areas and calculates the best and safest route options for your specific RV setup. One of the other nice features is all the maps are stored on the device, which means you don't have to download anything before you hit the road. And if you lose cell phone coverage, you're not going to be in the middle of nowhere with no idea where you should go next. I made a more in-depth review of this specific Garmin RV890, and I'll link to it below if you want to check it out. Also, our GPS is a little older now, so I'll put links to both ours and newer versions in the show notes below. The fourth and final item in the getting to your campsite category is a high-quality flashlight. Now you might be thinking, why is a flashlight in this category? Well, I'm a big fan of being prepared, and when driving or towing an RV to your destination, you never really know what can happen or how you might be delayed. We try really hard to never drive our RV in the dark. However, life happens and sometimes you can't help but be out traveling or arriving after dark. Having a reliable and bright flashlight goes a long way when trying to maneuver, park, and set up your rig. We personally use the Phoenix brand of flashlights, and my personal favorite is the TK20R. Phoenix flashlights are super tough, reliable, have long battery life, and are super bright. I have another video that I'll link to up here, I think, or over here, one of the two, where we do an in-depth review of the 3 Phoenix flashlights we own and how they've worked out for us if you want to check those out. Now let's move on to the setting up your campsite category. The following 9 items are must-haves for any type of RV. Coming in at number 5 and number 6 are leveling blocks and chocks. The 4 products we use and that have worked really well for us are Lynx levelers, BAL X chocks, rubber jack pads, and rubber wheel chocks. For anyone new to RVing, chocks basically stop your RV from moving and or rolling away. And leveling blocks allow you to level your RV front to back and side to side so that your floors and counters are flat and your slides work properly. In general, so your RV is stable. Now, there are a huge variety of options in this space, and having owned a Tiffin motorhome, an Airstream camper van, and now a Brinkley fifth wheel, I can say I've used leveling blocks and chocks on all these RVs, although a little differently for each one. On the motorhome, we mainly used large rubber jack pads to protect the jacks and keep them from sinking into the ground, as well as rubber chocks for redundant safety in case something malfunctioned with our brakes. On our camper van, we didn't really have any sort of leveling system, so if you parked anywhere other than a perfectly flat spot, you were sleeping at an angle or walking sideways in the RV. We've had to use leveling blocks to raise up the entire rear, the front, the left side, the right side, and sometimes even opposite corners of the RV when we were out boondocking. With our new Brinkley fifth wheel, we have an auto leveling system that works really well and has a lot of flexibility. However, there are some times when we need to use leveling blocks like you can see here to make sure we can keep the tires on the ground or to prevent driving the jack pistons out too far when the campsite has a steeper angle. We also started using Chocks to help minimize movement inside the RV when people move around. And of course, we use traditional rubber chocks to make sure we don't roll away. Coming in at number 7 for setting up your campsite are power cord adapters. These are a must-have for allowing you more flexibility and more options for where you can camp. Maybe you want to take your 50 amp RV to a state park that only has 30 amp hookups. We've done that a bunch of times. Or maybe you decide to driveway surf and visit family who only have traditional household plugs and no RV hookups. Whether you have a 30 amp or 50 amp RV, you'll eventually take your RV somewhere where you won't be able to simply plug in your RV to a matching 30 or 50 amp power hookup. This is where you need a power cord adapter. For example, this one converts from 30 to 50 amps. And this one converts from 15 to 50 amps. And there are many more types available. These adapters will allow you to plug your RV into whatever power is available wherever you go. However, just remember, when using an adapter to plug into a less powerful outlet, you have to adjust your consumption. If you try to use more power than an outlet can provide, you'll end up tripping the circuit breaker. Even with these restrictions, being able to power your RV with different outlets and different power sources means you can go more places and do more things. Related to power cord adapters, and then coming in at number 8 for setting up your campsite, are RV surge protectors. I have another video talking all about these that I'll link to up here, wherever it is, if you want to learn more. But in general, an RV surge protector for your RV is an absolute must-have. Without a surge protector, poorly installed or maintained electrical hookups at campgrounds can lead to very costly damages to your RV. Not to mention, the power grid in some parts of the country also has its own issues and could cause all sorts of damage. I've personally stayed at several campgrounds where the electrical hookups were sketchy at best. At a very high level, an RV surge protector like this one can help detect and protect you from several potential power-related issues you might otherwise run into. Things like high or low voltage, reverse polarity, open neutrals, open grounds, and of course, power surges. As with other products, there are basic, lower cost options, as well as more expensive and advanced options. The lower cost models offer surge protection and typically detect and notify you of other power related issues, while the higher models offer surge protection. They will also automatically disconnect power to your RV if and when the device detects any non-surge related issues mentioned before. I'll put links to both economy and performance models from 2 different companies down in the video description below if you need to pick one of these up. Moving on to number 9 and number 10 for setting up your campsite, we are switching to a topic that doesn't play well with electricity, and that's of course water. Like we talked about for electric hookups, you really never know what you're going to run into for water hookups. Similar to the RV surge protectors, helping regulate the flow of electricity into your RV, you need something to help regulate the flow of water into your RV so you don't blow up your pipes and plumbing connections. This is where RV pressure regulators come in. I'll link to a video up here where I talk about the different options available if you want to check that out. But if you're just looking for a quick recommendation, get a high quality pressure regulator like this one to protect the plumbing and pipes in your RV. I'll link to the product we use to protect our RV water systems down below. After connecting the water regulator to the water hookups, you'll need a way to get the water into your RV. This is where a high quality hose comes into play. Personally, we swear by and only use the flexible black 0G hoses made by Apex Technor. I made another video talking all about these hoses you can check out here, but at a high level, these are the best hoses I've found so far after 4 years of full-time RVing. They are tough, durable, lightweight, flexible, and make setting up and tearing camp down super easy. At number 11, we have the rubber pipe adapter. You absolutely need one of these things. I can't tell you how many places we've stayed where I've needed one of these to hook up my sewer connection. Sometimes the connections are too low into the ground to hook up your hose without one. Sometimes the part you screw your hose onto is broken, and sometimes the sewer hookups are not threaded at all. These scenarios and others mean that you would not be able to secure the end of your sewer hose. I don't know about you, but the last thing I want to have happen is to open my black tank, have the end of the hose pop out of the sewer connection, and dump black water all over the place. Next, at number 12, we have the black tank flush adapter from Flush King. This adapter has a built-in gate valve and water connection, which allows you to manually backfill and flush your tanks. Even if you have a built-in tank flush system, I found it is still helpful to use this thing every once in a while to get anything else out the built-in system misses. And at number 13, of course, you need sewer hoses to finish hooking up your RV. Again, there are several options out there, but I've been a big fan and a longtime user of the Camco Rhino Extreme hose kits and hoses. The kits typically come with a hose, a sewer connection, and a clear elbow for connecting to the waste outlet on your RV. I bought one set for our Tifa motorhome and one set for our Brinkley fifth wheel. We didn't need them on the van because it had a macerator pump and a built-in retractable waste hose sort of thing, which works a little bit different than a traditional wastewater system. While there are cheaper sewer hoses out there, I really like the Rhino Extreme hoses because of how durable, tough, and long-lasting they are. They don't crack if they are accidentally stepped on. They're very resistant to abrasion or developing small pinhole leaks, and they remain flexible down to -40. And I don't know about you, but I'm not going to be out in -40, so I'm good. I found I often need more hose length than you get with the single hose that comes in the kit. So it's not a bad idea to pick up an extra hose extension or two depending on where you plan on camping. Finally, let's move on to the enjoying your stay category. There are an absolute ton of accessories and gadgets you can add to your RV setup, but today we are focusing on the last two must-have items. Coming in at number 14 are camp chairs. Once you've arrived and are all set up, it's time to relax and enjoy the great outdoors. Whether you're just looking to relax outside, you're firing up the grill, or you just want a comfortable place to sit. There are endless options for camp chairs, including everything from basic folding chairs you can find at almost any big box retailer to specialty chairs like these click chairs that are super compact and super portable. The last and final item on our must-have list is a generator. Now, I would say a generator is an absolute must-have for full-time RVers and a great optional for everyone else. I can't tell you the number of times we've been at an RV park or an estate or national park and have had the power go out for any number of reasons. Sometimes the power is out for a couple hours, sometimes it's out for days. Being I still work a traditional corporate job remotely, I have to have power to run my computer, my internet connections, not to mention air conditioning in the summer, keeping the fridge running, and keeping the batteries charged for all the 12-volt devices in the RV. Sure, you can have lithium batteries and solar, and we did in our last RV, but you can't control the weather. Eventually, you'll need to recharge your batteries, or if it's really hot out, you're going to want to run your air conditioner. Having a generator with you gives you more options. And might mean the difference between being able to stay where you are or having to move on to another campsite or some other park. Currently, we have a small dual fuel propane and gas generator. This is a leftover from our last RV and is not really sized right to fully run our big Brinkley fifth wheel. And we bought this to maintain our 30 amp Airstream van. However, it is still enough power to recharge our batteries and at least run one air conditioner if we needed to. Eventually, we'll upgrade to a large unit with more power for our current 50 amp needs. So there you have it. That's my list of the top 15 must-have RV items, regardless of how you RV. Drop a note in the comment section below if you have any questions or want to share your favorite must-have item. And as always, we'll see you out there.